Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Totalbiscuit. I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. WTF is Minor Wars Arena. You know, I had to double take on this one because I thought, hang on a second, wasn't there that game they were developing that was kind of a 6 Degrees of Freedom shooter with deformable terrain called Minor Wars 2091 or something along those lines? And yes, it turns out that this is the same company. It's actually made by Keen, who have made a number of different games, and unfortunately, none of them have been particularly amazing, but they started working on Minor Wars a while ago, and it was actually looking really good, and it continues to look really good to this day. They're continuing to iterate and putting out more builds for the public. Minor Wars Arena was an idea they had. They thought, why don't we make a little version of the game? Something that's just a little bit different. Based, in fact, on the old game Tunneler, which, if I recall correctly, came out in 1991 on PC, which was one of those first really good two-player games. The idea of Tunneler was that you were a tank, and you happened to, for some inexplicable reason, be able to tunnel through rock, and you had to go up against your opponent, who was also able to do that. You had to tunnel around, find your opponent, and kill him, essentially. Minor Wars has a similar mechanic. This game is currently available as a Special Edition. If you click Play Special Edition, it has a Generated Defense mode. We'll go check it out. Let's have a quick look at the options. This is a Unity game, so the level of options are fairly limited, as you can actually see right here. One problem I do have with it is that it does not have rebindable keys, although it does have about 5 different kinds of ways to control it by default, as you can see right there. You'll notice that all the players actually have a number of different combinations. Personally, I just like to use the mouse for the majority of it, and then I can switch between my weapons and so on and so forth. So, not exactly difficult. It doesn't exactly have a lot of controls, to say the least. Now, you may notice, hey, it actually appears to have a 2-player mode, and you would be absolutely correct in that assumption. Unfortunately, the real problem with it is that it is not online multiplayer. This is split screen only, very much in the style of Tunneler, but I think if anything, that's probably going to severely hamper this game's ability to actually sell copies. However, we're going to go give it a try, and I think we'll probably start off with a Skirmish, then maybe have a look at Tournament mode, or maybe we might do that Generated Defense. Let's just start with a Skirmish to begin with. Normal difficulty, 3 AI enemies, technology, basic, normal, and high-end, which one assumes affects the amount of pickups that are available and the weapons that are at your disposal. 3 different kinds of ships available, Jackknife, Rock Eater, and Stanislav. Yeah, we'll go with that, and I shall pick the orange one. You can also change your victory conditions around, which is really kind of cool. So 3 lives, time-based, point-based, and frags, and then change your map setting. So you've actually got 15 maps, as you can see. We're just going to random it up, I think, and then give it a shot. So here we go. Minor Wars Arena. Is it any good? Let us find out. Alright, so what you've got here is this top-down view. I believe there is also more of a third-person perspective view as well. Might check that out a bit. This thing handles like a block of steel on a ski. It is big, it is fat, and oh god, I'm being attacked. Alright, so he's coming in this direction, so you know, oh my. Okay, this is getting a little bit vicious. Here, have some rockets. You like those, right? Ah, plasma! Wow, these guys don't give me a chance, do they? Absolutely not. I'm spawning and I'm instantly being spawn camped, which is super lousy. Here you go, have one of those. Let's some rockets in that direction. Wow, this game is not going to last fast, is it? I'm very, very surprised that they came straight for my spawn, actually. I would have thought I've had a little bit more time. I haven't even had a chance to show off the deformable terrain yet, which is actually one of the biggest parts of this. Now, Tunneler, the old game, allowed you to burrow through rock. This allows you to do the same by holding down the right mouse button. As you can see, it slows you down a little bit, but you can drill using your energy and essentially create your own tunnels and things like that. You'll also find yourself some upgrades as well, so ammo, firepower, things like that can be discovered in the process. Oh, well, that was a very, very lousy start. Alright, never mind. You can see there's a tournament mode here, which actually does have a number of single-player missions. Apparently, I cannot pick any difficulty other than easy, which is super stupid. I hate it when games don't allow you to do that. Alright, let's try the tournament then, shall we? Tournament mode seems to be very, very similar to every other mode, and the fact that you just have a set of preset victory conditions as opposed to setting your own. There we go, get a little bit of an upgrade there, so we continue to dig ourselves through this rock. Not a lot of music, as you can tell, and the voice acting is super obnoxious, to say the least. Funny thing about going in against only one opponent on a map this large is I don't seem to see any way of actually finding my opponent. And now I'm out of energy, so I can't dig. Oh, is he over there? Looks like he might be. Also, my screen is going crazy. Is that because I drained my energy? Alright, well, I guess if I head back to my base area, I can probably recharge there, so... What? What? Why? Why did I explode? My health was at full. I just randomly exploded for no reason. It's insanity. Like some sort of stuff under the hood. It may be that if you don't get back to base before you reach 0 energy, then you explode. That's a possibility. I should probably keep an eye out for that. Game did not quite explain that, but maybe I just wasn't reading their help menu correctly. God damn it! Good lord. This is not going well at all, is it? Absolutely not. The only weapon I currently have is a Gatling gun, which is unupgraded. Should really go have a look and see if I can actually find any more power-ups. Maybe dig in this direction. That appears to be an ion storm going on over there, which could be a little bit unpleasant. The nice thing about this is you can be a little bit tactical, try to dig behind your opponents, create nasty little corridors for them to have to fly around. It's a pretty cool system, honestly, and the deformable terrain is easily the highlight feature of this particular game. Yeah, I do seem to be draining energy even when I'm just moving around, so I guess you probably have to go back to base and recharge before you explode. Which would also explain why there are little arrows on the side of the map that actually show you where you're going, but... Ooh, can I actually get back in? Oh, nope, dig around. Come on. Oh, that screen. Oh, come on, there we go. Get in. There we go, nicely recharged. That is irritating, by the way. I really don't like that fuzzing effect on the screen. It's just obnoxious, it gets in the way. I understand that it's a game mechanic saying, hey, you're low on energy, that's bad, right? It's like, yes, it's bad, but... You know, could you have come up with something a little less annoying? That would have been wonderful. Also seems fairly easy to spawn camp. There is a spawn shielding effect, but nothing stopping you just popping out of the way. Digging a little tunnel, for instance. Oh. Well, indeed I do, it seems. Oh well, never mind. Let's have a look at the generator defense mode. I think the biggest problem I've got with this is the fact, unfortunately, that it just doesn't have multiplayer. Like, if I were able to play this with 4 different people, I think I'd probably enjoy it quite a lot online. Right? Mechanically, it's got some pretty cool stuff going on with it. It's got a few different modes, victory conditions, customization. The digging system is really awesome. Big fan of that. I really should switch to a nastier weapon, shouldn't I? Let's lay some mines around this area. The terrain deformation is really fun. And I think that it opens up some nice tactical possibilities. However... where's that plasma? There's the plasma. Alright. There you go, you can have some of that. Like, 1 on 4 is a bit of a nightmare, unfortunately, in this mode, to say the least. But without multiplayer, it's just not worth picking up, in my opinion. I'd love to say that it was, but it's not that it's a bad game concept or that it's actually badly executed. For the most part, it's good. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's great. It handles fairly well. It's not quite as good as Steel Storm. Steel Storm Burning Retribution was absolutely fantastic in terms of these top-down, isometric, floaty vehicle combat games. I think that game did a really, really awesome job of making that work. But without multiplayer, I don't see people sticking around to actually play the single player of this game for more than an hour or so. I'm already kind of getting bored here because I know I'm playing against bots, and even the knowledge of that makes it dull. And honestly, the bot AI is just dumb. And they will sit in the spawning area trying to spawn camp you, which sometimes will be okay for you because you'll be able to kill them as your shield comes in. But it's like they're not actually doing anything. They're barely moving around, dodging, or anything like that. They're mostly sitting ducks, and it seems easy to outfox them. But since you're completely outnumbered in this game, you can still die horribly anyway. So the only thing the game's really got going for it is the tunneling system, and, well, the bots don't utilize it in a smart fashion either, so you don't really get to see what kind of tactical breadth the game potentially has to offer. If you have someone that hangs around your house and you want to play split screen, then alright, okay, I could definitely see that working. But online? No, you cannot do that. I mean, hell, you can even see that guy's actually stuck in the wall, which is a very impressive thing to do when you happen to have a game which allows you to dig through solid rock. If they fix this up and they put multiplayer on it, then I could probably revisit this and say, you know what, for a $10 game, which is what it is, it's okay. Like, it's a nice concept. It could definitely do with more weapons, more ships, more power-ups, multiplayer. It needs more for me to consider recommending it to anybody. The concept is nice, it is fairly well executed, but it lacks the content necessary, in my opinion, to actually be worth purchasing. So here's hoping they update the game. If they do, I will try and let you know that that's the case, and maybe we can revisit and have a bit of multiplayer fun and see whether or not it's actually worthwhile in that regard. At the moment, though, I don't think I'll be revisiting this anytime soon. My name's been Totalbiscuit, taking a look at Minor Wars Arena, currently available for $10 or your regional equivalent over on Steam and Gamersgate. I'll see you next time.